Dude, my attacks miss so many friggin' times in this game that it broke my record with striking out with women.
Yes. Yes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Spin Dash, where a group of middle-aged men drink booze and reminisce of the video games we played growing up and talk about other unimportant things. I am joined today with my co-host Matt, the healer of our group.
Ooh.
What?
John.
And the fighter Amazonian John. So, what's new, guys?
That's an interesting take on our fighter classes.
I like that I'm the healer of the group. That makes me feel good.
This is a paradox world.
They're chose very wisely and drunkenly.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new, guys?
You're looking at it. What are you drinking, Nick, by the way?
I am drinking, well, I'm starting my night off with a margarita, which is sweating balls.
Oh, man.
Very nice.
Homemade? Did you get it homemade?
We had some stashed away. I found when cleaning the house, margarita mix in the back corner that was already like pre-made stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm chugging down that bottle right now.
Nice, nice.
There you go.
And I'll follow up with a PBI.
Bob.
Speaking of that, oh, that was loud. My mic just spiked.
Good stuff.
Good stuff there, bud. Good
Nick,
stuff.
I'm drinking one in honor of you. Shitty beer for a shitty game.
What do you mean? This game was excellent. Hence why I have a Hawaiian shirt on, having cheese and crackers with a margarita. Celebrating in the excellence of this game.
Jesus Christ.
That is eclectic at best.
John, I like your style, by the way, because I kind of am copying you. I have
Yeah, what are you drinking,
a
Matt?
very fine Bud Light.
Yeah.
I have some Sam Adams with me too, but I'm going to do the Bud Light first because that's really how I feel.
It's fitting.
Bud Light. So, what's new in the gaming world for you guys? Anything besides obviously our game of the week? What else have you guys been doing?
So I've picked up nothing because I'm still trying to like pay my way out of the hole that I put with the GameCube, with the Dreamcast. But I have been playing Dreamcast lately in between this fun game. There's a game on there called Elemental Gimmick Gear. John, you'd like it. It's kind of Zelda-esque. You're in this like egg-shaped robot, and you go around like punching things and getting power-ups and stuff, but it's like a Zelda game. Really, really weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember searching, RPGs to play on Dreamcast. And of course, Skies of Arcadia is like the top hit. And a couple others, but then Egg was on there as well. I know that's the acronym. I think it's on the cover.
Yeah.
It's
It's neat. Grandia is probably another one on there. That's another one that was big on Dreamcast.
Yeah. I haven't picked up anything either. I got a Game Boy case, a carrying case, like an old school one, and it came with a bunch of empty game protector cases too.
Ooh.
Got that for a good deal. Yeah, I was missing a few, and I don't know where my old travel case went, so I got that to stash everything in, because it was just kind of loose in my video game cupboard.
Impressive cupboard it is, by the way.
Yeah, Nick came over Friday night, and we ate some sushi, and we played some Switch, and he perused a little bit.
It's a nice little date.
And that trade offer is up there if you want a couple of games for
we'll do that coming up, I think.
N64.
Yeah. I got to see if I have all the cables.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, got to dig for it because everything's kind of just shoved in there because my kid likes to rifle through everything.
I've managed to keep mine out of here, and my dad's been laughing because he thinks it's funny. At some point, he thinks one of them's going to come in here and like stuff a peanut butter sandwich in like Nintendo.
Yep.
Oh.
He said it this weekend. What's that?
Did you pull that move on your dad?
Nah, Dad Dad doesn't really like games all that much. I think the last one we played was like, he played some Super Nintendo, and then Mario was about it. Like, he would play arcade games. Like, he's pretty good at Dig Dug, but that's about it. Once you get into Mario, he's like, no, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
So, no.
Most of my stuff is fairly well, it's out of the way. It's mostly down into my office downstairs, so it stays out of the way. The only thing I have up here is my PlayStation 4 stuff and Switch stuff, which is well stashed away so they don't get into it and break it.
Yeah. Nick, what'd you pick up, man?
I don't think I actually... Wait, did I pick up anything? I mean, technically I picked up the game of the week, Crystal Warriors. Paid $3.99 for that bad boy. $4.12 or $4.19 after tax.
Oh, good lord.
Actually, no, wait. I think it was actually after, because I had like Nintendo coins that I used to discount it down, so I think it was like $2.50. And
John would still think you overpaid.
Yeah. I was going to keep that to myself, but if you want to throw some gas on the fire, you're...
I think it's worth $2 all day. $2.50 all day.
This is the episode. I'm just going to sit back and just start pouring gas. Like this, I've been waiting for this episode. Like a
little schoolgirl for prom.
Yeah, because I'm a drama queen. So when John started dumping some hate early on, I was like, yes,
oh, man.
Yes, this is what I've wanted. It's taken us 8 episodes, but we're going to get there. Tonight's the night, my friends. Cheers.
Yeah.
No games. I've been playing a lot of other stuff though, besides our game of the week, and that's probably why I didn't end up finishing it. I tried my hardest. It really is a slow game, but we'll get into that a little bit. But I've been mostly delving my time into Final Fantasy Tactics.
And losing to me at Smash Brothers.
And kicking John's ass with Pac-Man on Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I rage quit him last night.
Yeah.
I got so pissed. It kept giving me like slow characters, like one after another. And I barely can function with a fast character, but I can't do shit with someone who's slow. And they gave me like 4 in a row, and I just fucking them out. Had enough.
You did all right with Ridley from...
Ridley's kind of fast, so I was okay, but...
Pretty sneaky.
For next gen console, what game do you guys want to get? In the sense, for we can all play on a Switch besides Smash Brothers. Like, I'm thinking we need like some type of good co-op game.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm down for that Diablo 3.
I think Diablo 3 would be fun. I avoided that when it first came out. My computer couldn't run it, so...
I mean, I got it when it first came out, so I played it on PC. I have it on a PS4, and looks like I might have to buy it for the Switch now.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Try it out. Would it allow the 3 of us to jump on?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Let's do it up.
Right on.
When I dig myself out of the hole, that'll be my next purchase.
Well,
there we go.
It's still at $50 right now.
Oh, I get cheaper than that.
Well, I'd probably get the one that has everything added on to already. The one of the expansion packs that they have for it. So, might as well. Do you guys just want to jump into the game of the week?
Yes, I do.
Let's
yes,
go.
I do.
Yeah,
That's just going to make Matt wait a little bit longer, John. So, the game of the week, guys, was Crystal Warriors. Game was published by Sega, made specifically for the Sega Game Gear. It was released in 1991 in Japan and 92 in the USA. John, because I know you're going to want to know this, and we'll have to add to the list. There was actually a Japan-only sequel called Royal Stone, and that was published in 1995.
I read that.
Which is apparently a really good game, rumor on the street. Like, it looks pretty.
I mean, with this game, I think I was expecting and looking through the eyes of all the RPGs that I've played through the years and now. So I was not looking through these with the same eyes of someone that was probably back in 1991 or 92 playing this for the first time. For that time, for the Game Gear, this is probably a very revolutionary game and did probably very well for itself.
Yeah. So Nick, I don't know if you ran into the same troubles that I ran into. I couldn't find a whole lot on the development of this thing. I was digging for a while, and it was just kind of like, here's a game for Game Gear, developed and published by Sega. But one of the things I thought was interesting, and I think it speaks to what you just said, was this was a really early strategy RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I had thought that the genre had been around for a long time, and there had been like elements of it like way, way before this. But my digging, like, this could be like the third, strategy JRPG type thing to come to the US. So it's like very early, like of all the first one that I found was like War Song or Langrisser on the Genesis was 91. And that one basically was influenced by Fire Emblem before it, or maybe not influenced, but in the same field. Fire Emblem was the big one. And then Crystal Warriors was the third on my list. I mean, I'm sure there's some other ones in between that. But like Shining Force was after this. Like, this is a super early strategy RPG.
And that's why I'm kind of giving it some leave-ins on a lot of stuff, just because I think being now in my 30s and again playing games like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff of that nature, is my expectations were so high and I was expecting more. So with that, I kind of try to push that aside, but I mean, it's kind of hard, especially again playing the game and having that comparison. So I didn't care for the game. And mostly the reason I didn't care, and Matt, I think we echoed this in our chat as well, is one, the permadeath was a big thing for me. Pretty much as soon as you lose the character, you're pretty much screwed. You really do need a full stack when it comes down to the last few levels there. So, but jumping ahead, and the other thing is the story. And I think this is one that we all echoed as well. Because the only thing you get for the story is literally the very beginning. And because I didn't feel like restarting the game and writing down what the story was, I actually found a PDF of the original manual online. So, from the manual, Quest of the Four Crystals. 4 magic crystals maintained the balance of power in the peaceful kingdom of Arliel. Arliel?
Ariel.
No, because there's a A-R-L.
Yeah, there's another L in there.
Oh, yeah?
Arliel, I would say.
It's not the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
That's what I took. I made a joke off of that. Let me take that joke out.
You're so insane that joke. This was the world of Tiramis, where magic and chivalry were still part of everyone's lives. Tiramis was a peaceful, while the 4 crystals were housed in the country of Arliel. Ariel. But the peace did not last forever. Yeah. Grimm came out from the underworld and tried to steal the 4 crystals. 3 of the 4 crystals were stolen from Arliel, but 1, the Earth Crystal, was saved because Princess Iris had taken it with her on her journey. It didn't take Grimm long to find out where the remaining magic crystal had gone. He immediately sent his army to track down the Princess Iris and one of the remaining crystals. Princess Iris could not just wait to be hunted down. She immediately took the initiative and, with several trustworthy followers, started her journey to find Grimm.
All right. So, John, I have 2 very important comments right here. Okay. 1, what is with the fucking crystal JRPG trope? Like, why is everything a fucking crystal? Like, can they find some other plot device?
I think that, somebody came through to these video game developers and swindled them, and they promised them magic crystals, right? There's these salesmen that come along, and these guys all bought into it, Jack and the Giant Beanstalk type shit.
It's Japan. It's Japan. I mean, you think about it. The games that are coming out around this time. You had Sonic the Hedgehog, which uses emeralds. I mean, I think it's just a thing, especially back then. The Japanese gravitated towards when making a game is using a rare gem, a rare stone as power.
So Nick,
yeah.
Speaking of rare stones, my second point. Okay?
Yeah.
Princess Iris runs off with the Earth Stone. Okay? And Grimm's after it. Did you two, especially you, Nick, get a hint of Gwyneth Paltrow from this?
Well, maybe it's a foreshadowing of when Gwyneth Paltrow said it was okay to take a jade egg and stick it up your twat.
And we come back to that.
Every episode, Gwyneth Paltrow is coming back.
I mean, she redeemed herself in the last movie of Avengers, so can't say anything. But the jade egg, Jesus, Joseph and Mary. Yeah, just a little reminiscent. So I'm wondering where she hit it, and very well the Princess Iris may have hit it somewhere very close to her.
Negative distance.
Exactly. The story, I mean, that's all your story you get. You literally get that, and you don't get any... if you guys played Final Fantasy Tactics, you at least get, intro of how the battle system works. That starts off the game pretty much, okay, here's how the battle system works. It takes you step by step. That's something else that kind of irritated me. This game, you literally start a game, and you're like, okay, you move. How do you move? You don't just walk around. There you go to. You have to strategically take spots, and it's kind of like a big chessboard.
It's like anime chess.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it was never explained to me because I literally won this game just starting of the elements and how they worked for your benefit as well as against you as well. So it probably played the first round probably about 6 to 7 times until I got the concept. Because I was like, geez, I'm only doing 1 HP damage. I'm like, that's bull.
Yeah, I had a hard time starting off. I mean, I got the general premise of it, right? I mean, it's a strategy RPG. Like you said, it's kind of like you're on a chessboard moving pieces. And the goal is to either wipe out the other party completely or move one of your people onto the castle. That's like the conditions for your victory.
That, or there's one other one. So when there wasn't a castle and you couldn't defeat all of them, would be deleting the specific warlords.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I forgot the fucking warlord thing. Yeah.
So 3 ways of winning.
You alternate turns. You move your people, and there's like a set amount of range that they can move. And I think it's influenced by terrain too, but I really never really figured that out. Like, I know I can't move over water all that well, but like what forest
it
versus...
depended on what you were for element that you can move as well.
Oh, so like could a water person move over water well?
Yeah, because I was actually walking on water with one of my characters.
Like Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that with everybody.
Yeah, they can walk on water, but do the water people move on water easier?
Probably get a little more range.
I think so. I mean, I didn't really notice. I was reading something slightly about that sometimes elements had different ability to walk or have different ranges that they can walk, but it didn't really influence what I played or how I played at all.
I always seemed to be just out of range with my mages when I would move them. Oh, yeah, I'm going to cast a spell on you, and then you're 1 square away.
I fucking hated that.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't back out. Like, if you pick somebody and you went to do something, you could back up, but you couldn't back up your move, right? Like, you could unselect a person you recently selected, but if you pick somebody and you move them and you're like 1 space away, you can't go back and like remove them. It's like, oh, this fucking sucks. I don't know how many times I did that.
How often did you guys actually scan all the enemies first?
Every second I could.
Yep. Yeah, I scanned them all just so I could move people better.
Because it would take a couple turns for them to reach you anyways. So, I mean, you're only screwing yourself to not do it.
Right.
Yeah, same. I was constantly scanning because I was like, oh, let's find out what everything is. And I mean, for the most part, most of them were pretty much the same characters for at least the first. So I only completed up to stage 7.
I got more than you did.
Stage 7 because I literally lost. I was only down to, I think, 5 characters at that point.
Permadeath got you.
Permadeath got me. So I'm like, F this. I can't beat this with just there. I was like, oh, maybe I could buy a character. I kept trying to find a character I could buy. I'm like, oh, there's no one to really buy. And I think 6, you couldn't buy anyone. I'm like, well, this is jacked. So I was literally down to like 5 characters when I was going against whatever the stages had for the monsters, plus as well what they had for I think at that point you had pretty much 9 guys you had to go against as well.
Yeah, 9 was the max. Like 9 was the max that of like people you could recruit, like your party total, and 9 was the max of like the bad guys you were fighting, not counting other monsters. What'd you think of permadeath? Like
it's not justifiable.
The thing that gets me, and I've never played Fire Emblem, so there's probably like a bazillion Fire Emblem fans there's probably one Fire Emblem fan that's listening to this by accident. And they're like, right. Why are these guys bitching about permadeath? This is like a staple of the series. Suck it up, you fucking casual. But
I mean, you could add people, like they came in and you could hire more guys, so that helped a little bit, but you did lose a little bit of progress if you leveled some of those guys up.
But there was no grinding. So, like, you'd hire somebody and they would suck. That's what I ran into in this. Like, I think tactics, Nick, can't you go and you can fight other battles that aren't part of the story to level people up?
Yeah, you can grind pretty hard in that game. So, we'll be playing this game, I think, probably when it comes to my next time around.
Tactics?
Yeah, we're going to do tactics.
Fair enough.
But tactics is a long game. You have to think of the long game of it. So when grinding or building that character, you kind of have to think of where you want that character kind of to go, and make sure that they're prepared for that by the time you get to the end of those acts. This one, it's. I mean, your character's already defaulted to what they are. So they're either a fighter, mage, healer. I think and what was the other one?
Princess. She was her own class.
Yeah.
Lord. You had lords in
there. That's right. There was a bunch of them. You're right, because Eldor was a lord.
Yeah,
he sucked.
I mean, for the most part, it was pretty much you had almost your 3. You had, I don't know, like you didn't. There's no real customability. You couldn't sell back your items.
Let's talk about items. That did you guys like? I didn't get the whole item concept because I would buy them, but I would never know, like, is this a good item? Is this a bad item? Like, I don't know what it's doing for my stats. I just know it's more expensive.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, you couldn't really see what it did or how it, like, if it was an actual reason to buy it. Like, what does my guy have now? Does it actually have anything? And is this stuff better than what I have on me? There's really no way
of telling. More expensive equals better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
pretty much.
And that's kind of my criticism with, like, the town. So I think we're kind of jumping around here, but, like, you'd fight your battle, and you'd end up in a town at the end of every battle. But the town was the same every time. Like, you'd always have an inn where you could save, and you could, like, pick up new people. You could hire them. You had a fortune teller, which I never used. Did you guys use the fortune teller at all?
Used one just for the giggles of it. And all he did was kind of it gives you hints of what the next level might have in it.
Yeah, there was the weapon shop, and then there's the magic shop. And that's it. Like, there's other people you could talk to, but I never talked to anyone because it just seemed like a fucking waste of time.
cracking up my beer.
I'm cracking my summer ale.
All right.
Delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, the town didn't really do it for me. And the other thing that I thought was, so when you're moving your people and you go to like fight other people, it brings you into like an RPG screen where you can like pick different things. Like you can retreat, you can fight.
All right, gotta interrupt you for a minute, Matt. Fighting is a pain in the butt. So if you were next to the, unless you were doing magic, but if you were like next to when you were to fight, did your cursor automatically go back to you if you didn't press and hold for it to select?
I don't know what that means.
So when you're picking who to fight in the top down,
correct.
Yeah, you had to hold it over.
You had to hold over. So several
you fought
times,
yourself a lot.
I end up selecting myself. I'm like, seriously?
You shot yourself?
Well, no, you don't get to shoot yourself.
You could do that.
You don't. But what happens is, if you select yourself, it automatically exits you out. And you don't get to go back and try to fight.
Yeah, that was
just
dumb.
turn.
I hated that.
So that happened several times because the cursor automatically defaulted back to me.
Yeah.
And just so to let you guys know how I play this. I played this through the Virtual Console for 3DS. So it has only been released for the Game Gear and on the Virtual Console for the 3DS.
What I did, Nick, was I got up my Game Gear and my soldering iron, and I put new capacitors on my Game Gear, and then I bought this because I'm completely legit.
Oh, man.
I did, and I played it on PSP. I emulated the fuck out of this.
Yeah. Yep. I got it on the Pocket Go.
Piracy!
Yup.
Dirty
Dude,
fucking
my
pirates.
attacks missed so many friggin' times in this game that it broke my record with striking out with women.
Yes! Yes!
And I didn't make it halfway through the fucking game. Like, yeah.
You just gave up. I made it to the 14th chapter? 15th?
You pretty much got to the very last. Because the last chapter is literally, I think you're just fighting actual monsters. I read.
Yeah. I can't remember the level I was on, but it had a lot of water in it. But
It's like the 15th chapter, you're fighting actual Grim.
yeah, I never saw Grim. Yeah,
Round 16 says that there are no monsters and you have a shit ton of level 9 guys. So, yeah, not good. Looks pretty tough. I made it to, like, level 10 right after the mountain where you have to go up in a mountain. Like, the enemy stronghold is up in a narrow passageway, so they didn't come down as far in that one.
the experience thing was kind of neat in this, or weird in this. Like, you would get, like, 4 HP for everyone you killed.
Yeah.
But what I found, I don't know if you got, like the max level I think you can get is 10.
9.
Is it 9? 9?
Yeah.
But, like, did your healers ever level?
No, they're the hardest people to level. Like, I was reading that it's because they don't fight, so they don't really truly level. So, one of the things I was reading a guide, and the guy's like, take your mages and get someone down to, like, level 1, then have your healer move in, or, 1 HP, then have your healer come in and just kill them, finish them off.
Yeah.
Because you only got experience for when you actually killed someone, versus when you actually fought someone.
See, I never leveled my healers.
Really, do you have to?
I don't know. I mean, if anyone got near my healer, they'd be dead, like, instantly, and then I'd restart the level.
Well, the thing is, your healers can stay almost all the way across the whole screen.
Yeah, they can heal forever. And, like, once you got, so, like, you have to give them the heal spell. Once you got the life spell, like, you can recover so much life. Sit there and just keep having your I had 2 healers near where I was in the game. I just kept spamming. Even if I didn't need it, I would just, like, heal.
Well, the freaking enemy with their Nadar guys, they would just sit back at the castle and keep healing their guys against you. So it dragged the battles on unless you had somebody go over and attack the guy healing everybody.
So I was super aggressive. Like, I literally I keep my healer pretty much back at the castle with one other guy just to protect the castle. And then I just send a whole force, one big group, and just wipe out. That's how I did it.
I had no one protecting my castle. I would always like Iris, Dane, Eldor, and Rat. You're going out in front, and then like I would always send the two I had two mages, Murok and somebody else.
Yeah, the girl.
Romy?
Yeah.
Yep. Those are the two, and they were cleanup.
That's pretty much who I.
Good.
So who I ended up having left when I got to 7 was Romy, Murdoch, Princess, and Eldor.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
And I think I had one other fighter, maybe. It was like
Rat got to be my best character.
Yeah, Rat was nasty.
Rat died. I killed Rat.
Oh.
You're not being that game. You're not.
Nope.
You're
Rat
done.
was strong.
Yeah.
They had a lot of.
So I kept on forgetting to heal him.
There was a lot of water characters and fire characters. So
Wisp.
Dane, but like even the enemies, Dane was screwed for me. She died a couple times.
Dane kept dying for me too. I couldn't keep Dane alive.
Well, anyone with a
friggin' wind guys would come in and just annihilate her.
I don't think we talked. So we mentioned the elements, but I don't think we mentioned like what does what against what.
So fire was strong against wind. Earth against anything was equal. So it didn't have a power up or anything. You had water. Well, you had water, which is good. It was good against fire, and was wind better against water? I think.
Yeah, and it made my brain. I don't know if I got stuck in Pokemon mode and it just didn't register. I got water beats fire. That made perfect sense to me. Not a problem. But like fire beats wind. For some reason, that just didn't click. Like
so. The only reason I knew that was because of watching Naruto, the anime and manga.
Oh man!
So in that, and this probably is too, pretty much wind added air, so fuel to the fire, which would make the fire bigger. No.
I mean, like no air, and then the fire dies.
Yeah,
right.
But you're adding wind, so you're pretty much blowing. When you blow on
wind blows the fire out.
Well, does wind blow?
Tell that to the firefighters, Nick. Tell it to the firefighters.
Oh, never mind. Jesus Christ, you two.
John, you've been very tame.
You're disappointed.
When is the Kraken being?
I'm waiting for my little snippets. I threw one in there. It was a little,
You're a little tame there, bud.
I'm waiting for you.
Thought.
I'm waiting for you to dump some pig's blood on Nick and just just go carry on him.
Well, we had one, and I kind of missed it. So I thought it was the land of Ariel, and there was a princess named Iris, which is what I tried to gouge out of myself when I started playing this game.
That's fair.
See how that lands.
Yeah.
This game was played longer than it should. Like it says, it's 4 hours games, but it's probably 4 hours if probably if I had the manual and read the manual first, and even if I could have took the initiative, I'd probably download a PDF and read it first. Then it probably would have been better and probably get a cruise to this game.
Nope.
But if you're literally if you're just literally picking up and going, this game played horrible. It just took so long to attack enemy.
I thought the AI was okay. I found that like I would move people up, and the AI never forgot the element thing. And the AI, like if I left the character sitting out by themselves, like, and they knew that they could like do enough damage with like 3 people to wipe that person out, that AI would always know like we're gonna wipe out people. I had a couple times where I had to restart where they took out. I know Dane kept dying, so I mean I'm just gonna assume Dane got swarmed and just ate shit.
Yeah, those little what were they called?
Mad
Chem or Aya. Yeah, the Ayas, the little like black-haired wind. They always killed Dane like 90% of the time.
Yeah, Dane was
I restarted
weak.
a few.
I had a hard time keeping Dane alive.
Yeah, the two Rangers, Rat and I forgot the other one's name. She joins after, I think.
That one died.
Zephy, yeah, she joined. And then I was able to, it was nice. The one thing I'll say is, like, if you did get in a bind with a couple of these elemental characters that you kept out in the front, you could just throw out a monster that you had captured and, like, have
the monster
sacrificial
thing.
lamb.
Those were pretty. Yeah. That was a pretty good feature. That's something actually I thought was pretty nifty. That if you defeat a monster, you could actually use them as almost both a shield as well as attack.
It's kind of like do monsters level?
No.
That would have been.
They didn't do much damage either. Like, I think I got 9 one time with an elemental one that had a favorable matchup, and then it got slaughtered because it only has like 12 HP.
Yeah, that's kind of the way they balance it, right? Because, like, if you had a super powerful monster, like, you could send in, like, I don't know, send an Eldor who's fire, and if Eldor's got, like, you know, Eldor's going up against a water person, he could throw out a wind monster, and if it was like a super strong monster, like, they would just, the whole elemental thing would, like, fall apart because you'd have, like, an out. So I think, like, having them have, like, low HP kind of is a way of balancing that so you don't break that whole, you know, the elemental triangle or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It helped when the mages would cast, like, blindness and sleep on you, because you get one attack in with your monster, and then they'd screw them over, and then your guy could come in and not miss the second time around, too.
That's something that was unique in this game, too. I was reading about that. Again, I don't play any strategy RPGs. I'm not a strategic thinker. I want to just go in and shoot stuff and get out. But I think this game's unique in that everyone has 2 turns. I think everything else, it's like either a lot of other strategy RPGs, like you go in and you have like your turn, so you hit them and then the turn's done. Or, you know, you have your turn and then there's the counterattack turn. This had 2, so like you'd attack, they'd attack, you'd get a second attack where you could pick, and then they'd have their follow-up, which I added, it was interesting. I mean, you had to kind of think ahead and know that, like, they've got 2 turns where they could kill you.
Yeah, I had to retreat a couple times.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, if you couldn't, and that's how I actually Rat died. Just like tried retreating to get him back to health, and no bueno.
I think Rat. No, it was Dane. Dane always fucking died. Dane, I would go and I get cocky, and they sent out a couple pyros, and for some reason I'm like, oh man, Water Dane is gonna go fight a pyro. No, pyro is an Earth magic user, and they'd sit there and they'd bolt the shit out of her, and she'd be dead.
Yeah. Yep. Misnomer on that guy. Yeah, the fire guys were like Morby or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the guys with the
he looked like
lightning sticks.
Lightning bolt. Yeah, dude, weird. I liked that they had different classes in this game, but they were like the remedial classes, and you know.
It just didn't do anything. I mean, there were other. I remember reading online. There are other classes outside. I mean, they're like subsets. Like there's like a subset of fighters, like a ranger or something like that. You know, but really, it didn't matter. Or at least I didn't notice it mattered. I thought of people as like fighter, healer, and mage. I didn't really care about. Oh, you're a lord. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, they just did less damage.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. That's what I felt like. I don't know what Dane was a fighter, but she even didn't do that much damage against the friggin' fire guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was like maybe 10, but then you could have the wind you could have Rat come in and hit a water character and she'd do like 18 damage.
Yeah, let's see. So, yeah, wind is strong against water, water is strong against fire, fire is strong against wind, earth was a neutral against all elements. And an element type is neutral against itself.
Straight from Naruto.
But you had subset elements too with the mages. So I kept on using flash against anything water. So it was like a bolt of lightning that would zap and just destroy all the water monsters.
Yeah.
Then you had cold, which was actually fairly strong against earth. Anything when it had earth.
Yeah, I got to like the second level spells. Like I would have like frost and blaze, and I can't remember the other. I don't know if I ever got the second level wind one, but. I don't.
So sorry, guys, we didn't finish this one. We tried, but it was brutal.
I just my bitch with this game, and you know, yes, it was an early strategy RPG, but it's like, I think I was texting you this, John. It's not like the Game Gear was some kind of like revolutionary new hardware that they needed to understand, so it was like an early launch game and it sucked. Like, the Game Gear is just a portable master system. Like, they should have known how to cram more into a game than this. Like, the battle screens were like super bland. Like, you're just fighting on like a gray screen.
Yep. Yeah, then it had no backdrop. Music was not great. I don't know Game Gear music capacity, but this was underwhelming.
I mean, it wasn't that great.
No.
I mean, something that was kind of cool with this is you could hitch this to the TV and play on TV. You could do
you could battle other people too, right? With a link.
Yeah.
You have a one-on-one fight. Yeah. I wish we could have done that. That might have been more fun, just because there's more. Even if it's as slow as it is, it's always more fun to fight your friend instead of the computer.
I just found it shallow. And I get it's a handheld game, but I don't know.
I mean, I'll say this. From that to what handheld games are now they come far. And you can even say about even the earlier handheld games. So if you're not going against like the 3DS or anything like that, you can go with like the GBA, the strategy RPGs on there were very good in lengthy time and had a good story and actually had a story.
That's the thing, right? So like in a strategy RPG, I would think what keeps you playing through the rounds is you want to, you got permadeath, so you should want to care about your characters and what they're doing. And in this, it's just like, I can't have them die because I need to actually see the end. Like that's getting to the end was the only reason that kept me going, and then I didn't even get that.
Yeah, this guy dies. Hey, I'm here to replace your dead friend. Pay me $2,000. All right, cool.
Yeah, some of those people are overpriced.
I didn't do the second healer. I passed on him.
You passed on the healer?
The second healer, dude. The first healer, and then you get the princess to learn heal, so, like, I was okay. But then again, I only made it to level 10, so... I beat level 9, so I didn't go any further, so maybe a second healer was needed, but, yeah, he was overpriced at the time.
I found near the end, I was just crushing people, because I kept restarting, because I never wanted... I wasn't going to let anyone die. I had Zephy die. And then after that, I was like, no one's dying ever again. And yeah, they're all level 9, and they're just wrecking house. So maybe
that warlord was tough on Rhaegar. It was like
he was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, level 4 or 5,
especially if you didn't kill that healer in the background.
Oh yeah,
is he the one? There's one that I just sat there and just kept draining. I got a drain spell, and I put that on Iris.
Nice.
And Iris just kept sucking health from him. There was one guy that had, he did a ton of damage. That might have been Rhaegar.
Yeah. Yeah, he was powerful. Yeah, because he was level 9. And it was only the 4th chapter that you fought him. Or the 5th chapter, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
6, excuse me.
6, yeah.
It's number 6, yeah. Yeah, 6 was hard. I died a couple times on that one.
Game would have been fun to play on real hardware and speed run it to see how fast. Like, could you play this game and beat it before the batteries in your Game Gear died? I think you get 5 hours tops, 6 hours maybe out of a Game Gear. If you're lucky.
Let's look this up. Max battery life. And we're talking about that double A's, right? We're not going.
Well, I mean, you're not pulling out sextoy, D's and putting it in it. I mean,
well, no, they had one you could use the AC adapter. Then they also had add-on where you can actually plug in, where it had it like it was its own battery pack.
No. I didn't even know they had. I knew you could plug into the wall because that's how I have to play mine. But that thing fucking ate batteries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was my first comment. This was on Sega Game Gear. I never had one, because I always liked the Game Boy better. But I was jealous of the color screen and not the battery consumption. So yeah, tied in nicely with yours.
So reading this straight from the internet.
So it's got to be a fact.
Yeah, exactly. So powered by 6 AA batteries, the Game Gear has an approximate battery life to 3 to 5 hours. Duration to save money. So
Oh my God.
Type 2 external rechargeable battery packs.
Oh no!
Wow. What did Game Boy do? Four AA's, and it ran for like months. I remember like 2 to 3 months I could get out of mine.
Well, you can watch TV on the Game Gear though.
That's true, and they had an adapter. You could play Master System games on it too. Which
way before its time.
Too fancy for its own good.
That's Sega's problem. Is they always
it is
they tried to do too much, right?
Yeah.
Other than the Genesis, I mean that was no. They had like every add-on you could possibly add on to a console. It was kind of like a console with tumors.
I mean, Sega really honestly ended with the Sega Genesis. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'd say it. I mean, I think the thing that I was telling you guys, like the Dreamcast was like the one console where like Sega reached for the stars, but all their shitty decisions before that is what killed them.
Well, also what they're saying that if the Dreamcast, if Sega waited to launch the Dreamcast a year later or something, that it would have probably won the console war. I think I read it could have been a tweet I read or something like that, just because it came out so early. They're saying it was just too far ahead of its time.
I think the problem with Dreamcast is just Sega was hemorrhaging money. I don't think this is like the great like what if in history, like what could have saved the Dreamcast, and I don't think anything. I think they had lost so much money at that point they just could never recoup. Like PlayStation, when PlayStation 2 was launching, there were so many rumors about it. Like I don't know how you go up against that. Like they were talking about how like the North Koreans or something, or the Iraqis or something, were like stealing PS2s so they could guide their missiles with it, and then like you could watch. It was Toy Story level graphics, and I was like, oh, that wasn't what the fucking PS2 ever did. I mean, they just didn't have a chance, you know.
I mean, I grew up with a Game Gear, and I liked it. It was one of my. I think I got it for like my. I want to say either my 9th or 10th birthday. I got it. Yeah, that makes sense because the game it came out 1991, 91. It came out in the U.S. Game Gear.
No idea.
Let's say.
Yeah, not sure. I don't know. Would you consider my favorite like non-traditional RPG has always been Secret of Mana on the SNES. But I wouldn't consider that in the same capacity as this one.
It's like, well, no, that's like an action. It's like an action RPG, and this is a strategy RPG.
Yeah.
Right. So Game Gear came to U.S. in 1991. So yeah, I think 1992 I had a brand new Game Gear. I think my parents ended up buying me.
Should have bought this game and then held on to it because this game is actually worth something.
What is it? What is it, John? When you were looking online, what's it going for now?
Yeah, over $50.
Wow. Really? No shit.
Yeah. I mean, that was on Amazon. I didn't price chart it, so.
Oh, don't go Amazon. They rape you. I think I looked when Nick was first talking about this a while back, and it was like in the 30s. And
okay. Yeah, maybe on eBay.
I debated it. I'm like, well, I should buy every game that we decide to play. And then I'm like, well, no, because that's going to be stupid. Because if John knows I'm doing that, he's going to pick something like incredibly expensive, and that's going to break my whole streak.
Earthbound, baby. I'd pick that just to fuck you.
Yeah, you could do a lot worse.
All right. So Crystal Warriors, we'll see what price charts out of for. Well, actually, just the game is $26.99. But if you had the
Yeah,
if
see?
you kept a box and manual with it, it's $60.
Let's talk about that manual. What did you think of the cover of that fucking manual?
It reminds me of the old VHS covers for like Beastmaster and something like that. Do you remember those type of movies?
It reminded me of like a fantasy romance smut novel. Like, you know, like the curled up paperback ones that people try to give away at the grocery stores?
Used to be in like the Kmart friggin' checkout aisle.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But then like you fire up the
titty hat on.
Well, that's Murrock.
Boobs. Yeah.
He looks like the guy on Little Nicky, where he's got the guy with the tit head. Like, remember Kevin Nealon's got the tit head? That's what he looks like.
Yep. There we go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I struggle to find things to say about this game. I think that's the biggest challenge. Like, it's not that it was the worst game I've ever played, but it's like, how do you describe vanilla ice cream? There's only so many things you can say about vanilla ice cream. It's ice cream, it's cold, it's vanilla.
Jesus, Joseph Mary. Sorry, I just looked up the Earthbound because I want to see how much it went for.
Yeah, you're gonna turn a trick.
Oh, yeah. You're doing more than turning a trick on that one.
I didn't run out of things to say about this game.
Well, we'll say them, John.
We'll
unload.
John. You've been very quiet,
John. Tell me your heart.
All right, so you heard my first one about the eyeballs. I had a list of like little roast jokes, little snippets. So the first cave drawings had a better story than Crystal Warriors. You guys ever see one of those beetles that rolls dung balls? That's actually just ground up copies of this game. Excellent fertilizer since it's 99% bullshit. I rage quit this game 7 times. I played it a total of 10. Did you guys ever hear about what happened to all those, was it E.T. for Atari games that they tried to hide and bury in a landfill? They covered it up with copies of this game so nobody would touch it.
Oh, fuck.
I think the IBM Tandy that I used in first grade that had 4 sticky keys was more enjoyable to play Math Blaster on than this game. The menu system on this was way worse than trying to file an insurance claim in a third world country. And my last zinger, this game is so bad, they asked Jeffrey Epstein to play this game to completion or choose to sleep with his cell door unlocked.
The fucking Epstein joke.
Oh my! There we go.
My face
I love
hurts
how you spent more time writing these jokes than you probably actually did playing the game.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck somebody beat this game in 4 hours. I mean, unless they never got a missed attack, because that happened so much.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo. So Nintendo had a rating for it because it came on 3DS. Was 5 out of 10.
That's what I would give it. That's a fair.
No, I'd say 4. 4.
I'm surprised you even would go as high as 4. Like, you're being so calm tonight in the group chat. You're like ready to murder Nick's family for this one. Like, this is a blood feud.
It's too hot up here right now in my little studio. I just got all sweaty telling all those jokes because I had some rage behind those.
Hot and bothered.
I didn't want to get too heated because we're still young into this podcast. So
John is sweating out his anger.
A little bit. I actually played it. So yesterday I think I was only at level 5, and then today I took like an hour, and I actually paid attention and I set up on the different paths, I set up 3 guys and then had a 4th kind of wandering behind them. And so like I had that as like a filter. So everybody would come up, all the bad guys, and one would just run into the middle of my 3, and then you could just attack them from there. And that was a way more effective strategy.
I found the game got more fun for me as time went on, but
because your fighters didn't suck as bad.
Yeah.
You level them up a little bit. Yeah.
But it's still never... I don't know. I haven't played a whole lot of strategy RPGs. I played a little bit of Front Mission. I played Bahamut Lagoon, which is a Squaresoft. They had to translate it. You know, it's all piracy. None of this shit actually came over here. The only reason why I played it is because I wasn't supposed to be able to play it. But beyond that, like this, I think this is like my first like strategy RPG that I've sat down to play. So I don't know if it's like, well, I'm gonna, get a bad taste in my mouth from this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was fairly lenient after I learned what the elements did. You know, I scanned everything. Okay, these guys need to go against this guy. This guy has to go against this. The game became a little more funner and easier to play. But it's like it just took so long to just do one battle, because mostly you had to go all the way across the level. Then you had to also make sure you matched up properly. Again, if you weren't paying attention to your characters and weren't make sure you heal them, then if you're down pretty much 2 characters by, stage 5, you're screwed for the rest of the game because you don't have much of a lineup.
Yeah, you got to restart the level.
And I think like hardcore strategy players would be listening to this going, well, suck it up, pussy. But I don't know. I don't come from this. This isn't my sweet spot. I'm not.
Well, I don't
like real-time strategy, and I don't like turn-based strategy. Those aren't really. That's not how I play a game. So
those are both my favorite type of games. I obviously love strategy RPGs. I love Final Fantasy Tactics, but
and
at least
27 Pokemon games.
But all those games at least had a somewhat, like I said, they brought you into the game. If you'd never played that game before or that type of game, they said, okay, here's how you go. Here's the battle system, how it works. Here's what this works. And once you at least had an intro, you're like, okay, I can play this now. And they gradually also led you into the game. This game literally just drops you and says, here you go. So if you didn't have...
That's because it's older, and, as we've all come to realize, older games are usually harder.
Well, I think also, if you're replaying these games and you don't have your manual with you, or you're not looking up the manual, then yeah, it's going to suck.
I don't think the manual could even save you on this. I gave you the manual. It's just, it's funny to look at the cover, but inside you just get a really shitty story and, what the buttons do.
Yeah, I usually go by GameFAQs. I'll read a snippet of that at first. I'll have a decent walkthrough pulled up, and I'll just scroll that if I get stuck on the ones we've been playing.
I think the bigger question that I came about from all of this is just like, what happened to Nick? Like, how did Nick go off the path? Like, I feel like
how did I pick this game?
No, like other than Battle of Olympus, like I could pick a game and like I'm pretty sure John and I are going to be lockstep on a lot of shit. I don't know why. We're just we're just 2 girls in our little clique picking on the other girl at the other table at school. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. But like, you picked this and like instantly John and I cringed. It was like the exact same time. It's just a sigh.
Whoa,
Nick, what have you done?
Back up.
Okay.
You were actually very happy I picked this because there wasn't much for Game Gear.
I was happy you picked it because, yeah, that's right. I was happy you picked it because of the Game Gear has like nothing of substance. And then I learned what it was, and I was very excited because John was going to get very angry.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
myself. I should have set up a camera to record myself on video, but we can't. We can't host video because you would have. I definitely spewed off a few good strings of swear words at this game.
I picked this game because I was looking for a game that literally all I did was type in. I googled it. I'm like Game Gear only game. So a game. I was looking for
fucking slacker
game. I'm searching Google game.
Oh my god!
I didn't know the Game Gear repertoire too well, so I didn't want to play a game that was just a copy down to Game Gear. So I didn't want to play like the Sonic games that were pretty much just a copy down to
That's
that.
fair.
I want to play something that was actually made for the Game Gear and specific for the Game Gear. since we didn't play anything Game Gear yet, and it's probably be very far and few between where we can play a actual Game Gear game. I wanted something that was specific to it that we could say, okay, we at least did it.
Yeah. I get your thought on that. And I was very happy. Like, if you look at our list of episodes so far, we're very Nintendo heavy. And I blame John and I for that, because that's entire
one here.
We're trying to fix that. In the upcoming episodes, we're gonna do something to fix that. So when you pick Game Gear, I'm like, oh, this is all right, Nick, I see what you're doing. I'm okay with this. And then then I got into it. And the funny thing was, like, John, you're like, we should pick more games that we haven't played, so we're all exploring it together. And then, like, Nick picks this one, and the whole time you're like, this is fucking stupid, this fucking game. I can't believe he picked this fucking game.
It was not fun. Nick, I think you got to find a guest host that likes Sega as much as you do. So at least, we have an even debate here, because we definitely gang up on you for your love for the failed
I think, like,
console.
We've said in our early episodes, is you both had a Nintendo system in your house first. My first system was a Sega Genesis. My actual first system that I owned was a Sega Genesis. So that's all I had. So, I mean, I did have a SNES in my house, but the one that was actually in my bedroom growing up was my Sega Genesis. So that was the one I played the most. So that's just why I have more, I guess, affinity to a Sega and the characters.
So this is a side topic, but someone was tweeting on Twitter, and I've been on the corporate account. More on that later. But they were talking about the console wars, and I had to laugh because it's like, everyone thinks of the console wars as something that happened in the 90s, like you were a Sega kid or a Nintendo kid, and it's like, we're doing this podcast and we're still fucking fighting the console wars. Like, it's 2020. John and I are carrying our banner. Nick's carrying his banner, and we're going to war. That's our podcast.
Through. Sonic. I'll speed up with Sonic all the time.
Old habits die hard, my friends. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
So, guys. Okay, everyone's rating. So everyone said what? John, you said 4. Me and Matt 4. Are at 5. It's not worth the $3.99 on the 3DS, guys. Don't buy it, and don't buy the game. I mean, if you have some Nintendo coins that you can put towards it and lower the price down, go right ahead, give it a whirl. If you're really into the earlier stuff, or you had played a lot earlier of the strategy RPGs, go for it. If you never played a strategy RPG, no, this is not good to go into.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you'd bring some punishment liquor tonight, Nick.
No, not tonight. It's too hot. I don't feel like vomiting halfway through the night because I did too much.
I'm going to put that one in my back pocket for guilt later against you.
I think the next episode, we all need to bring punishment. Like, we didn't do it this one. We slacked off because it's too fucking hot. But I feel like the next one, everyone needs to bring a punishment liquor. We need to go to work the next day hungover. That's a mandate.
Okay, so next game, what do we have to play? Matt, I told you we had to hold on your MGS. Sorry, bud.
I got to find something. So, Nick, you got some stuff going on. I really want to spend a lot of time playing Metal Gear Solid. I'm hot and horny to play this game. It was the last game that I was playing before my son was born, and I had to give up on it. It was being a dad and shit, life calls. So I want to finish it. I've never actually beaten this game. I've fought my whole life not playing it. I have a friend who absolutely loves this game, and just out of spite, I never played it. So I got to find a replacement. I don't know what we're going to do the next episode. It won't be a Nintendo. I will make sure that we're on a different console. Maybe we'll do a Sega game for Nick. I'm interested in hitting up some TurboGrafx PC Engine games. We severely underrepresented in kind of our histories. So I don't know. More to follow. If we're gonna bail on Metal Gear Solid for a little bit, or maybe we could play it in the background when we have this one going.
Yeah.
Give us some more time to build up that episode, Nick. Just so you know, it's gonna be very story heavy because it's a very big like.
I played the game.
Yeah.
I played the game. I played the game when it first came out. So my household went from a Nintendo system house. Then when the PlayStation came out, my parents were the first ones to have a PlayStation. Like I think my dad actually waited in line for the PlayStation 1 when it came out. Because it was the first game that we got for that was Resident Evil.
Oh god, that made me piss myself when I was like 8, 9.
I used to watch my parents play that.
That would be a fun pick. I don't know how long it is. I've never actually beaten one of those either. I beat 4. I beat 4 a bazillion times, so that doesn't count. 4
is pretty quick through, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first game. So yeah, I played the Metal Gear Solid when it first came out, the double disc game, right? 2 disc.
Yeah, it's 2. I really want to get into the story of Metal Gear because it's fucked. It is a fucked game.
Yeah, we can definitely do Metal Gear. When it comes time to do Final Fantasy Tactics, that one's going to have to be a background game too. I'm going to put my mic down because I'm talking to you guys on something different since we don't really need to record.
Well, no, I want to finish. I have one more thing I want to say before we shut her down. Yeah, just a last point thing. We're fucking 8 episodes into this show, and I think we've now gone legit. So we're now on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, pretty much anywhere you can go and you can get podcasts, you can find us now, which is exciting. If you like what we're doing, please give us a kind review. If you don't like what we're doing, I'll give you John's personal email, and if I have his bank account or social security, I'll try to find that for you as well. We're also on social media now. Nick, I think you spent a lot of time doing the Instagram thing. I kind of poke fun at us at Twitter whenever I can. You can find us there at spin-retro. I think it's the same for both accounts. John, you fucking hate social media, so there's no point, but if you ever want to hijack either of those accounts, go for it.
Yeah, I'm slacking on my little contributions. I haven't made a new song yet.
Oh, yeah. So John, let's talk about the song. I think that's a good closing thing.
When are we doing that? When are we starting that? Is it August that what the calendar's for?
For what?
New song. Oh, sorry. I was jumping on something else for the...
Yeah. So John, give us the backstory on why we have our opening and closing song, where they came from. Did we pay someone to write it? Is it royalty free? How did we get our unique song, and what are your game plans for the song in the future?
Well, fine listeners, our intro song is one that has been coveted by Matt and has been used many times for different things. It was used at his wedding when I strolled down as part of the wedding party, and it originated way back in high school when I was just kind of dicking around on GarageBand, and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. So I just recorded something, and the music teacher let me burn a copy on a CD, and I looked like McLovin back then, so I thought I was cool, in my shitty old car with my subwoofers, because this song had a lot of bass in one part. I think we're only using one part of the song, but there was another part
parts 1 and 3.
Ah, okay. And so we were all drinking one time, and I had my laptop open playing music, and this just happened to come on because it was in my music library. And Matt, you spit out your beer, and you go, John, what the fuck is this? And I was like, well, this is a song I made in high school. And then you ran over, grabbed the laptop, and ran down and emailed it to yourself. Yeah. Or put it on a thumb drive, and you're like, I'm going to use this later in life. And I think you just think about this song and it makes you giggle. So I'm glad that I brought some happiness.
So the song is called 3 Groove, and we're only using 2 of the grooves. But I sent it to everyone that I know, and I said, "This is John's fuck beats. You guys all need to go and make a baby to this song." And I sent it to basically everyone I know. So this song is out there.
This song has helped people. This song has made sure.
Procreation. Yep.
It needs to stop making procreation in my house. Let's phrase it that way.
Right.
But yeah, when we were going to try to find a song for the podcast, it's like, well, I don't want to pay somebody to do it. What royalty-free song do we have available? And it's like, oh, one that I told everyone to fuck to. Like, this is fantastic.
There you go.
So, what are your plans for the future, John?
I'm gonna throw together something maybe on the piano, because I still have my old piano from when I was a teenager, and see if I can record something. I might have my kid play it, because he loves to go up on my piano and just mash on the keys. So I might have him help out and see if I can make it kind of fun. Yeah, I'll come up with something a little different, and maybe a couple little like segue music snippets too for us.
Nice. Just set him down with Mario Paint.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You could do.
Yeah,
I totally
Mario
forgot.
Paint's
You
fun,
could make
man.
a whole song on Mario Paint.
You got some fat beats in Mario Paint, dude.
Fuck
You need to bring that back.
Nick, what else you got, man?
Just follow us on to our social media, like Matt said. We want to have this grow. I mean, we're just a bunch of, middle-aged guys, reminiscing on what we loved as growing up, and those video games. So, keep
Sweet.
listening.
Right on.
Hit that 3 groove.
Ball, bop, 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 bop.